Now, it's been more than 20 years since Princess Diana tragically passed away. But as you saw during this royal tour, her humanitarian legacy is still very much alive. This next segment celebrates the People's Princess, and we hope it will be the first of many here on the Royal Report. We call it the Diana Diaries.
She was the People's Princess, and that's how she will stay, how she will remain in our hearts and in our memories forever.
Princess of Wales was the title Diana was given the day she married, but the People's Princess was a name she earned through nearly 2 decades of humanitarian work.
Diana approached charity work in a very different way to the rest of the royal family. Before Diana came along, it was basically just opening fates, cutting ribbons, launching champagne bottles into ships. Very formal and very from a distance. But Diana just shook this up. She got down on the ground, she talked to kids, she touched patients, she heard their stories, she listened to them, she gave them a voice, she comforted them. She was the People's Princess.
In March 1990, Diana and Charles traveled to Nigeria and Cameroon for a week-long royal tour. This was the 28-year-old princess's first trip to sub-Saharan Africa, and she made a point to shine a light on several local causes.
While in Nigeria, Diana attended a rural women's fair and a leprosy hospital. When she was in Cameroon, she went to another hospital and a school for deaf children. While this was an official royal visit with several official state banquets, Diana definitely seized this opportunity to shine a light on a lot of local humanitarian efforts.
3 years later, Diana returned to Africa, this time by herself. The 32-year-old princess spent 4 days in Zimbabwe meeting with refugees and leprosy patients.
When you have a visit by a noble person like Princess Diana, naturally you feel elated.
Looking back, it's really sort of surprising to see Diana alongside Robert Mugabe. Now, of course, we know him as one of the world's most brutal dictators, but at the time, it was not considered out of the norm for Diana to have met with him.
The princess's trip is designed to highlight the work of British charities in Zimbabwe. Last year alone, the British government gave the country nearly £50 million, its biggest single aid program in Africa.
Diana had a knack for really understanding where some of the most vulnerable people in the world needed her. And one of his issues was leprosy. And she knew the power of her celebrity, and she wanted to make sure that the people who needed attention most in the world got it. So for her to travel to a place like Zimbabwe where it wasn't necessarily getting the attention of the world's media, it changed everything. And Diana was able to really impact the way that the world saw Zimbabwe just by putting it in front of people's eyeballs, because no one else had her power.
In August 1996, Diana's divorce from Prince Charles became official. 5 months later, in January of 1997, she was back in Africa, spending 4 days touring war-torn Angola in support of the Red Cross's mission to ban landmines.
Yeah, I'm only trying to highlight a problem that's going on all around the world. That's all.
Diana no longer had her Royal Highness title, but this was still a huge departure for the royal family, to basically be involved in something that could be seen as political and for making a political statement. So this was a bold new move.
It's been said, though, that you're aligning yourself with Labour policy. Do you think that's wise? Labour? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
We have really to keep the programme going.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
One of the things that really moved her to want to take action was learning that Angola had the highest rate of amputees in the world. 1 in every 333 Angolans. They had had decades of civil war, and essentially during those wars, these mines were laid underground, and then they were never recovered. So average regular citizens were suffering because they wouldn't know where the mines were.
She was horrified by that. She thought these things were used in warfare, but they wound up maiming and killing people for decades to come. She wanted to change that.
She was led through a minefield today by a British team who are making the area safe. The princess shown the danger they'd unearthed hidden just below the surface.
Diana made the shocking decision to walk through an active land minefield. There were photographers snapping every single second. It was just such a groundbreaking moment.
She was photographed on a minefield, literally a minefield, where there had been bombs that had gone off. And she was photographed with the full visor and protective visor. And this image went around the whole world. It's something that you always remember of Diana when you think about all the work she did.
This visit has given me the opportunity to experience at first hand the suffering caused by anti-personnel landmines on the people of Angola. It has convinced me that I must continue to play a part in the ongoing worldwide campaign to ban landmines.
Just 2 months later, Diana returned to Africa for the final time. The 35-year-old princess traveled to Cape Town, where she met with the 78-year-old South African president, Nelson Mandela.
Mandela was so impressed with Diana. He loved the work that she had done in terms of drawing attention to the AIDS crisis in Africa and to the problem of landmines there. He said when she walked out of the room, he was just trembling.
Nelson Mandela later said that Diana actually influenced his decision to try and promote getting rid of landmines in South Africa as well.
On August 31st, 1997, only 5 months after meeting Mandela, the People's Princess was gone. But her legacy as a humanitarian lived on. The following month, the Diana Princess of Wales Memorial Fund was created in response to the millions of dollars in donations that were flooding Kensington Palace. And that December, 122 countries signed the Ottawa Treaty, an agreement designed to eliminate anti-personnel landmines around the world.
I'm not a political figure, I am a humanitarian figure, and always have been and always will be.